I feel like a kid again with childlike wonder, and because I feel like a kid again, this is now a cringy anime AMV channel with Slipknot playing in the background, maybe a bit of Marilyn Manson or Hollywood Undead. This video, I'm going to tell you how you can leave behind all those destructive childish habits that make you unproductive, like watching anime all the time, Netflix, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, social media, all that stuff. If you don't know who I am, I'm Louis Angel. I make a self-improvement channel for sensitive guys, feminine guys, emotional guys, submissive men, femboys. Anyone else is welcome, though. If you get anything from my content, you're welcome here. So, if you watched any of my previous videos, you'll know I had a... I don't want to be so arrogant as to call it transcendental experience, but that's like the layman term. If you're at all familiar with Buddhism, what I maybe experienced was the first jhana. I don't know. But anyways, I've experienced this a couple times within the past year and a few times throughout my life. Basically, the rundown is I imagined the worst possible case scenario and being okay with it. And so basically, I imagined what would let's imagine I never get a girlfriend, never get a wife, never have sex ever again. Could I still live with that? And I said, yeah, I could probably just devote myself to making in money to donate to charity and working with charity for animals. And on the other side of accepting that pain of never having intimacy, I felt like a weight lift off my shoulders. I felt unburdened. The most recent time was when I went even further, and I imagined, what's the absolute worst case scenario? I fail at my job, I fail at my aspirations, even my charitable ones. I fail at everything in life, so I just pack up back to Costa Rica. I live in a little shack, basically homeless, and I live with a bunch of stray dogs. Would I be okay with that? Yes. And now the worst case scenario is if someone burned down my shack and burned my dogs along with it. And I imagined, could I still forgive that man? Yeah. And I would just start again, building a new shack and getting new dogs. And on the other side of admitting the worst case scenario, you feel a sense of freedom and bliss that I haven't felt anywhere else in my life. It feels comparable to the way you see martyrs portrayed on movies, or like Leonidas at the final scene of 300 when he's killed. So that's the experience. Anyways, that experience has has allowed me to be more conscious lately. Like, literally the last few days, I feel like I've been more present and more mindful. Like, you know how online people have said that, like, Christmas and the wintertime doesn't feel the same as it used to as like in the early 2000s. I feel like I've been transported right back to the early 2000s. Granted, it helps that we've gotten some like it's mostly melted now. It helps that we've gotten some pretty good snow, like literally perfect snow, where it's like still sunny, but everywhere's covered in snow and it's cold. It's great. It's wonderful. It's like perfect for children to play in. So there's that, but I genuinely feel like a kid again whenever I go when I go to my college classes, when I wake up in the morning, when I am talking with my parents. It feels like, wow, I feel like I'm just I'm enjoying just being in the present moment, being mindfulness. This is what I was after all this time with the meditation and stuff. And as a result of being constantly present, I feel a sense of childlike wonder again, and I feel like a kid again. And this allowed me to appreciate some of the stuff that I disparage on this channel regularly or advise you against, like anime and listening to music all the time and social media. So my brother I recently got Spotify Premium for my brother for his birthday, and speaking of which, it's my dad's birthday. I got him Duolingo Plus for his birthday. He's gonna get the email like when he wakes up. That'll be exciting. So yeah, like I got my brother Spotify Premium, and I recently bought this is a new iPhone. I recently bought an iPhone to aux cord, so I've been listening to Spotify in the car like yesterday, literally just yesterday. And after being more mindful and like having that awakened experience, I actually listen to song lyrics now. And I was listening to a couple songs the other day where I was like, I feel like I'm listening to this song for the first time. What was it? It was like, I think it was Mad City by Kendrick Lamar and another one. And I was like, wow, these are like songs like talking about people's lives, about a perspective I've never seen before. It's amazing. And I appreciated them. And I quickly realized, oh no, I could fall back into this. I could fall back into listening to music, listening to degenerate music, like, because I appreciate it too much. So I don't think, I will not be going back to listening to music that regularly. It was nice to enjoy it for one day, but that's that. And it's the same thing with anime and social media. Oh, the other song I listened to was from the Nier Automata soundtrack. And I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. Like, incredibly beautiful. No wonder I was able to forgive myself. I was like, no wonder I as a kid became obsessed with anime and video games. Like, it's so beautiful, it's so unique, it's so different, it's so great. And I was able to forgive myself because I was like, yeah, a kid who's like doesn't socialize that much, doesn't hang out with that many friends, and he saw anime on his computer, of course he would be obsessed with it. It's fantastic. I forgive him now. I had so much trouble forgiving my past self, and yet now it's like, yeah, I forgive you. I see how you fell for it. You weren't as conscious. Of course you were gonna fall for it. You know, there's a Hindu scripture that says that people don't accumulate karma until like the age of 21. And of course your brain doesn't like reach maturity until the age of 25, around more or less. But in addition to forgiving my childish self, I was also this time, because I'm an adult and I have more experience with self-improvement, I was able to see the badness. And I also logged onto Twitter again, and I was able to appreciate it so much more. I'm like, yeah, there's all these people who agree with me and see my perspective. No wonder I got into like Tumblr and Twitter at such a young age, and I was obsessed with it. Like, no one around me in high school like liked art and anime the same way I did. And yeah, now here on Twitter and Tumblr, I found all these people, and like my posts were getting so many interactions, never before like other social media. And now it's the same thing. Like, I'm a bit like conservative, and I'm also into like femdom. So like, and like, I'm into healthy living, but also a bunch of esoteric stuff. So it's hard for me to like find people that like really vibe with all of me. And on Twitter, I was like, holy crap, there's all these people who agree with me, and a lot of girls too. Maybe I could get a date. Maybe I could meet the same exact mindset I had in middle school. So this experience was great because I see what it's like to be a kid again, and I can forgive myself. But also, now that I'm an adult, now that I've been on self-improvement, I see the danger. And so I'm here once again with a refreshed, renewed perspective, telling you, stay off of social media, don't listen to music all the time, and don't watch anime and TV all the time. And the reason why is, and like, you want to get back to this childish level of consciousness, because you think that all this stuff is adding to your personality. It's actually not. It's actually, your brain is a windshield. It's fogging up the windshield. It's not making things clearer. If you want things to be clearer, if you want your personality to shine through more and to be more focused, you have to clean the windshield. My recommendation is just delete your Twitter account, delete your Instagram account. If you're really like obsessive about it, then like take a screenshot of everyone you're following and save it somewhere on your computer so you can get right back to it. That's what I did. I haven't looked back, haven't given one glance at those screenshots I took. Listen to informational podcasts or audiobooks instead of music all the time. And stop watching anime and TV. You're gonna need, and unproductive YouTube videos. You're gonna need something else to watch in the meantime. I don't expect you to just quit all this stuff. So obviously, in addition to going to the gym, eating healthy, meditating, going out and experiencing new things, talking to strangers, I'm gonna give you some media you can use to replace instead. So some consciousness and mindfulness and spirituality channels I recommend are Hillside Hermitage, Einzelganger, Einzelganger, and Spiritual Renaissance. The guy on the channel looks like a hippie, kind of. For business and self-improvement, I recommend Alex Hormozy. I also recommend the channel Modern Wisdom. It's a podcast channel. I recommend Dr. K as well. I haven't seen too much of him, but his stuff is fantastic. I watched a video yesterday, actually, on why quitting adult content is so difficult. And read audiobooks. Get audiobooks. Get Audible. You get the Practicing Stoic along with it for free. Buy the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Buy The Power of Now. Buy The 4 Agreements. Get your hands on a bunch of self-improvement books and just listen to them over and over again instead of music. Replace your unproductive media with productive media. That's all for today. I hope you learned something. And remember, it's not learning if your behavior doesn't change. See you around.